Hi, I'm Anna Henrik and I do various concept art and illustration things. I recently bought a Surface Pro 4. I've been working on it and messing around with it for about a week and a half now, and I've been getting a lot of questions asking how it compares to an iPad Pro, which I don't know because I don't own one. I'm not made of money. And how it feels to work on full Photoshop and what it's like and how I feel. I shall tell you in this video. So, if you're anything like me and you've been looking at this thing lustfully on the internet for about 3 months, then you probably know what it looks like. It's very pretty, it's very nice. I think, to be honest, my favourite part of this is the fact that it's literally like the same size as a Moleskine A4 sketchbook, which is brilliant because I can just stick it in my satchel, and considering it only weighs like maybe 200-300 grams more, you don't notice. It's just a portable sketchbook and it's wonderful. In terms of power, I've got the i5 with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage space. I would recommend that. I mean, I've been working on really high-res images and I've had no problem so far. The i7 processor is much more suited to rendering. That's the best thing that it's good for. So if you're going to be doing any 3D work, then I suggest that. But for pure painting, I'd say an i5 is going to do all the heavy lifting for you. Alongside power, the battery life is pretty damn good as well. I'm used to getting 2 hours out of my laptop. But with this, I've been painting for about 3.5 to 4 hours solidly on Photoshop, and that's probably usually where it lasts. But it lasts a lot longer if you're just using like regular internet and that kind of thing. Even if you're blasting music out the speakers are really good, like unexpectedly good. So that's a plus too. Now, not only can it work really well as a portable sketchbook, it can run full Photoshop, which I think for me is the big decider between this and the iPad Pro. With Photoshop CC, you've got a really nice layout. It maximizes a lot of things, and there's a little program called Toolbar Creator which makes it possible to have some toolbars that appear on top of your screen. And that really helps for when you want to just get rid of the type cover and just go to town on using it like a sketchbook and nothing else. Of course, there's a lot of people that use it with the type cover. I know people that use a Bluetooth keyboard because they want to have the shortcuts, but I like efficiency. I just would like to be able to sit there and paint, which is great, and that works really well. It's got a hinge which goes at many different angles, right here, like it just goes, you can go all the way back, so you know if you want to prop it up, that's good too, you can do that too. Photoshop CC also has some really cool touch gestures. You can pinch to zoom, you can turn around, you can pan. It's all really intuitive, and that definitely makes navigating a lot easier. Now, the vast majority of videos that I've watched reviewing the Surface Pro 4 have said that there's absolutely no difference between the Wacom pressure sensitivity and the Surface Pro 4 sensitivity, which is something I really can't agree with. I've been using a Wacom Intuos 4 for about 5 years now, and the difference between it is very much in the lowest end of the pressure sensitivity scale. When you have the pen on the tablet with a Wacom, it just draws. It draws immediately. But with the Surface Pro, the way it has been engineered means that you have to have a certain level of pressure to begin the stroke. Unfortunately, I draw very finely. Honestly, it seems to just be the people that do very light line work that are affected by this, and you can get used to it. I am, but I'm just putting that out there because I haven't seen that many people mention it. Now, in terms of colour, I'd say it looks pretty good. I'm used to working on a Dell Ultra Sharp, which is really saturated, and then my other monitor is a TV, so they're completely opposite ends of the scale. But I'd say that the Surface Pro definitely falls toward the Ultra Sharp level, but it's definitely not right up there. It looks nice. It doesn't like blow me away, but then again, the pixel density is lovely. It's a really weird resolution, but it's better than 1080p. Given that I guess I'm an early adopter, and it only came out on October the 26th, there are still some bugs. Not as many as on the Surface Book, but there's been moments where the touch sensitivity on the screen just cuts out, or when the type cover stops registering, which, you know, isn't ideal because you have to restart it. There was a very scary moment where I turned it on and it got stuck for a while. But as I said, this happens with most technology. You've just got to wait for the updates to come in iron stuff out, but for the most part it works really well. It's very comfortable to use. So I mean, the only other con that I can think of is the fact that I am terrified of scratching the screen, like to the point where I will remove like wristwatches and rings and stuff in case it affects it, because you know, once you scratched it, that's it, you can't do anything about it, and you don't want to put a protector on it because it increases the distance. I don't know. So there is that to consider if you're an inherently nervous person like me. That might get to you a little bit as well, just saying. I guess the only other main question that I'm getting is the iPad Pro Wacom companion kind of comparison. I personally would go for the Surface Pro still. The iPad Pro is still a mobile OS and the apps just aren't there yet. Unless you are a wizard like Nikolai Locketson, I will link his stuff, who uses this really cool app called Procreate, but I wanted Photoshop and potentially 3D Studio Max, and it's not supported on the iPad. And I am also very weak, and I don't want to lug a Wacom Cintiq companion around with me. So the Surface Pro was fine. It was ideal, really. I don't know if this has answered your questions, but I hope it's cleared some stuff up. I still really like it. I'm having good fun. Sitting on a train and painting is wonderful, and makes you feel like you're not wasting your time travelling. So that's really good. I still get annoyed with it though. It's a learning process because of my dainty lady hands. So yeah, we're getting there, but I would definitely recommend it above the iPad Pro because it's got Photoshop, and that's the main thing for me. But yeah, I'm going to go now. Goodbye. Look! A view into the secret world of video development. But yeah,